Hello, everyone. So, with the global outbreak of COVID-19, also known as coronavirus, the world is experiencing a lot of change. It is no more news that nations and individuals are majorly concerned about the safety and well being of their citizens, family members, employees, and friends. So in the coming months, or well, until the world is able to properly manage this epidemic, we'll see businesses shut down and companies search for innovative ways to still be able to get work done. As much as this deadly virus brings bad news, it also might be the needed push for the world to strategically think automation. In the past few weeks, we have seen traditional companies make a shift to remote working, and at this time, specifically working from home, as we're being advised to maintain social distance. Working from home has its pros and cons, no doubt. One major pro would be saving travel time, going from the house to the office and back. I'm sure my fellow Lagosians will agree with me on this. And then a major disadvantage is that you can easily get distracted working from home by you can get distracted by the TV or just looking at your bed or working in and out of the kitchen from time to time. So I have been partially working remotely for 4 years now, and I would like to share some tips on how teams can, maintain their productivity level while working remotely. So first advice would be to map out or figure out a dedicated area that would be your workstation. So if you have a study room or a dedicated table and chair for studying, that might be your best bet. Or you can choose to work from the dining table. The most important thing is finding somewhere comfortable that you can focus and get work done. Then next will be to wake up each morning as you would normally do on a work day. So mind you, it's still your regular work day, just that you're working from home. So follow your regular routine. If you'd usually wake up at 5 a.m. to get things sorted out, like meditate, do your devotion, exercise, pack your lunch, whatever it is, just go with your regular flow. Take a bath, get dressed. So I would emphasize on get dressed a little because you don't want to work wearing your nightwear. I personally think that when you put on, like appropriate or decent clothing, it gets you mentally prepared for work. So you don't have to wear the dress that like the dress or the shirt and pants that you would wear to work, but just wear comfortable clothing, look decent, look responsible, look professional, because you never can tell. You might have to jump on a quick call with a client or a team member, and you don't want to look messy. You want to still look professional while working from home. And so if you'd usually have take an hour or 30 minutes break at work, you want to go with that flow too. um, Take a break, have lunch, just like you do when you're in the office. And please be very time conscious. You can get carried away because you're not, in your office. So you want to be time conscious. I think it would help if you list out your tasks for the day and also make them time bound. Um, I personally like to start with the most difficult tasks or most time consuming tasks and then gradually drift into the other tasks that I think are not, really time consuming. And then um, I understand that, some people are parents and this is a really difficult time, especially for those with children who aren't teenagers yet and so require a lot of supervision. It would help to also prepare for them So maybe the night before, you want to create a schedule of what they're supposed to be doing the following day, the activities that they're going to perform. So get their workbooks and worksheets ready. Also, remember to include in their schedule a time for play so they can also exercise. You can sync your break time to their play time so that you get to spend time with them since we're all, locked up in the house during this crisis. There are also free resources that people have put out online for kids. So you probably want to plug into that. You can check on Amazon or on Google. So just Google free resources for kids. I'm sure you'll find something useful that your children can make use of. So, for business leaders, you want to stay in touch with your employees or teammates during this period, especially if your team has never worked remotely. So, there are tools available to keep your team connected, like Slack. So, for regular updates, it's like your virtual office. I recommend Slack over WhatsApp to avoid distractions like chatting with friends and family while working, and especially because we have like too many things. That's like a very popular medium for people to pass information these days. So there are too many like news going about the current situation. You don't want your team members to get distracted like in the middle of work, having to battle with checking all those details, some of it fake, some um verified, but you just want them to be able to focus their attention on the work they're supposed to be doing. So I recommend Slack. There are also project management tracking tools like Trello or Asana or Airtable. You can also make use of video audio conferencing tools like Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, and the host of other tools out there. Um, so if you would usually have a weekly meeting, you want to maintain that. You want to maintain that structure. You'd communicate the time, the date for the meeting, so that your team members can log in for the meetings. And then you can also have your team members put up their deliverables either at the end of the day or at the beginning of the next day, just so that everyone gets to see what has been done or what has been left undone, and then everyone can sing together and still work together as a team. You can also make collaborate on documents at this time. So you can make use of Google Suite or Microsoft Suite. I personally like Google. I use the Google Suite, so Google Docs, the spreadsheet. It helps team members sync on one document as opposed to sending documents back and forth after each edit. Everyone can see the edit happen in real time. And then also as as team leads or business owners, I think that it will be nice to have one-on-one calls with your teammates during the week. You can decide on like particular days when you'll be speaking to each of your team members just to see how they're faring in this in this period, and just show that you're concerned and you care. Now, as an employee, if you've ever requested to work remotely and you didn't get that approved, now is the time to prove that you don't have to be stuck in the office to be productive. So ensure to reply to emails promptly, and please do it well. So proofread that email before you hit the send button, communicate regularly with your team members, deliver on your tasks promptly, and do it well. And you just might be getting your request granted when all this is over. Most importantly, I just like for everyone to keep the hope alive, stay positive, do not share unverified information during this period. Let's encourage one another, let's support each other, check on your loved ones, check on your colleagues from time to time. And if you have any questions about the tools that I have mentioned in this recording, please feel free to reach out via the comment section, and I'll be happy to respond to your questions.